How's it going, everybody? All right. So we are. Week 15 in the books. We got our two guys ready to go here for our Super Bowl. It was be Mr. Joe and Mr. Beef. There was a couple interesting games. Wasn't really sure how Steve and Joe's game was going to turn out last week. Steve had 13 points up on Joe going into the Monday night game, and they decided to not let Adrian Peterson play, which kind of screwed Steve over a little bit. They could have announced it the day before. It would have been a little more helpful. But other than that, Joe had the Bears defense in, and they crushed the Vikings. They killed them. Devin Hester, he ran one back, broke the record. I mean, that had to happen. Good old Hester. Good for him. All right, well, so it looks like our final game is going to be Joe and Beef here for all the money and the glory. Well, this is only the one game I really got to go over this week, which would be our final game. Nothing else really matters at this point. I wrote down Beef and Joe's lineups here. I'm going to go over them, and I wrote down what ESPN's supposed predictions are going to be, and I'm going to go over. I'm going to tell you my point of view, whether or not I think that ESPN's predictions are even close to remotely possible. So let's start with Joe. And Joe, these are predictions for who Joe and Beef currently have, you guys, in your lineups at the moment. I'm not sure if you guys are going to change out anybody with someone on the bench, but I looked over your lineups, and the reason I'm going with this is that I think you probably got who you're going to play in your active lineup right now come Sunday and Monday night. So, yeah. Let's not forget, too, that the Cowboys, for anybody that doesn't know this, I don't know if we're going to get to watch it, us normal people, but the Cowboys were playing the Arizona Cardinals on Saturday night, so Christmas night. It's a great time to play a football game. So here, Joe's lineup. Let's start out. You've got John Kitna, the Cowboys. They're playing Arizona, like I just said, and they got John Kitna predicted at 21 points. I think that's a good prediction. I mean, I think he might get a couple more than that, but I think that's a good solid prediction. Say he's going to get a couple touchdowns, 272 yards. It's not bad. The next couple of your predictions here, we'll go over to Beef's quarterback. You got Drew Brees in, of course. That's the way to go. And you got against Atlanta. The last time Atlanta and the Saints played, that was a great game. It came down to a field goal, and that was a great game. That's how Atlanta took first place in the division over the Saints. Great game. They got Drew Brees predicted at 19 points. 2 touchdowns, 286 yards. I think Drew Brees is going to get more than that. The last time they played, Drew Brees had 28 points, 3 touchdowns, 365 passing yards. He also had 2 interceptions. But yeah, I think Drew Brees is going to score over 20 points. No problem there. Now the next guy here, this is what I found funny, is that he's got Jamal Charles in against, they're playing up against Tennessee. They got him predicted at 18 points. Maybe. I think it might be a little under. And Tennessee's got a really good run defense. Joe, he's got Chris Johnson in versus Kansas City. And they say 16 points. It sounds good. 16 points solid. Chris Johnson's the man. But what I thought was funny about this is that the way they got lined up here, the Beef and Joe, is that he's got Chris Johnson against Kansas City, who's on Tennessee, versus Kansas City, and he's got Jamal Charles versus Tennessee, so Kansas City versus Tennessee. They have one running back from each team going against each other in the same game. Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. I thought it was funny. And then the next one was even funnier. Joe's got Fred Jackson of the Buffalo Bills in against New England. They're saying he's going to get 14 points. I don't know about that, but maybe if he breaks a big one. I mean, New England does have a good run defense. Their pass defense is terrible, but they have a good run defense. It's possible. Fred Jackson has been putting up good numbers lately when they give him the ball enough times. If they give him the ball 20 times during the game, I think Fred Jackson will easily get 14 points. And the reason I found this matchup funny as well is that Beef has Steven Jackson in, so it's like a Jackson versus Jackson matchup. Steven Jackson's playing San Francisco. That's a big game for that division. I think the Rams need to win that game because they really need to win if they want to hang on to first place in the division against San Francisco, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. I think that's that division. Yeah, that's a terrible division. But I think whoever's in that first place in that division actually is first place with a losing record. That division is terrible. But they said Steven Jackson's going to get 17 points. I think that prediction is pretty correct. I mean, they're going to have to give Steven Jackson the ball a lot if they want to win that game because I don't know who else is on that team that's going to do anything for the Rams. The rest of them, they're all pretty likely. I mean, Ryan Terrain, Washington Redskins versus Jacksonville beat Scott here, 15 points. He's going to need to get the ball a lot to get that many points. The thing is that, I mean, Jacksonville's defense, they give up a lot of big plays, so it's possible. And I really like Ryan Terrain. I liked him when he was a Bronco. This beat or Joe got in here. Calvin Johnson versus Miami. Yeah, I think the Lions are going to get another win. I think the Lions are going to beat Miami, and they're going to need Calvin Johnson to do it. I know Miami's got like a good cover corner on that team. What's his name? I think he's like Vontae Davis. Forget that guy. Megatron's going to kick his ass. I think Calvin Johnson might actually, I'd say closer to 20 points, to be honest with you.